Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, earlier today, I posted a video about Asians being discriminated against. And in response to that video, I received some positive feedback and also I received some negative comments. And what I want to do right now is take out time to respond to the negative comments that I received. Some people said that they have little or no sympathy for Asians who have been discriminated against. They said, forget Asians. They said, who cares? They said, hashtag hold your own nuts. And basically, they're regurgitating Tariq Nasheed, reciting him and parroting him like followers. And I just want to take time out right now to respond to these comments. But before I do so, I also want to add one other thing that somebody said. And I thought that this comment was interesting. They said, Asians love white supremacy. Asians love white supremacy. So we're going to talk about this. So if black people have no sympathy towards other people who have been discriminated against or who have been brutalized and humiliated, how in the hell can we actually expect anybody to care about us, to be concerned about problems that we face? As another YouTuber pointed out, if we don't expect other people to have sympathy for us, we shouldn't be running around talking about Black Lives Matter. We shouldn't be crying to other people about police brutality. For instance, when a Michael Brown is killed, or Alton Sterling, or Philando Castile, or all the other countless people, or Trayvon Martin is killed. We shouldn't be complaining to anybody, telling them our lives matter. We shouldn't be expecting any kind of sympathy from the justice system or from anybody or from the larger society if we don't have any compassion or concern about the plights of other people. So that's my first point. My second point is this. When I talk about the need for people to build coalitions, I'm not talking about this out of some naive perspective. I understand that there are Asians who discriminate against African Americans. I understand that there are Asians who exploit African Americans. Some Asians do this. I'm not denying that. What I'm talking about is a convergence of interests. Here you have all these different groups who are splintered. All these different groups who suffer some kind of oppression at the hands of white supremacy, some kind of discrimination, some type of oppression. You have Latinos who are discriminated against. You have Asians who are discriminated against. You have Arabs who are discriminated against. Muslims who are discriminated against. You have groups like women who are marginalized by the right. You have workers' rights that are being undermined by the right and by white supremacists. As long as these different groups are all divided up, they can't organize effectively against their common enemy. We have a convergence of interests against the same enemy. And it's only intelligent to work together against that common enemy and that common problem of discrimination. So I just think that it is illogical and it is irrational. If you are serious about fighting against white supremacy, then it makes sense to unite and work with other people who have that same interest, who face that same or similar problems. It only makes sense. That doesn't mean that these groups that are working together out of common interests, it doesn't mean that they have to like one another. It doesn't mean that they have to love one another. It just means that they recognize that they have a common interest. They have a common enemy, and it makes sense for them to get together and work together against that common enemy. Anyone who understands politics knows this. Anybody who's read for instance, The Prince by Machiavelli, or they've read the 48 Laws of Power, they understand how power works. Anybody who's an organizer, who's actually done things to affect some kind of change, understands the importance of coalitions. Groups that really put in that work for the black community. Not groups that just ran their mouths, groups that actually did things like the Black Panther Party, like the various civil rights groups that actually made a difference, that actually got laws passed, that actually made a difference in our lives. Those groups understood the importance of coalitions. But yet people want to go to these talking heads who have no track record of accomplishment. They have no track record of improving the plight of black people. They haven't gotten any laws passed. They haven't organized any kind of effective protest that actually made a difference. They haven't done anything to stop police brutality other than run their mouths. They haven't done anything to make a difference besides talk and entertain you. That's one of the main problems that I have with our people. We gravitate more towards charisma than we gravitate towards actual tangible results. We are more wrapped up in somebody's ability to talk fast and to tell jokes and to amuse and entertain us than we are inclined to follow and support people who actually produce results. I think that that's problematic. Now, someone also said, as I mentioned earlier, that Asians love white supremacy. And I basically said, well, hell, black people love white supremacy. And that's going to be the subject of one of the videos that I post tonight. I'm going to explain how black people actually love white supremacy. So look out for that. And also, I'm going to have several videos that I'm going to post tonight because I have a lot of stuff on my mind. I came across a lot of very interesting stories. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this issue of coalitions. I mean, because you got these people who recite all this BS rhetoric, all this empty rhetoric, but they can't point to any results that these talking heads, these people that they're inspired by, have actually produced. People who actually put in the work understand how important it is to build coalitions to get laws passed, or how important it is to work with other groups of people when you're bringing lawsuits that deal with discrimination. It is only intelligent for us to work with people who are similarly situated. Not necessarily they're in the same boat as us. I'm not saying that. But they are similarly situated. And it's just intelligent, man. I don't get the logic behind these people and their emotions. I mean, another point that I have to make out, making this video is this. Of course, there are some Asians that discriminate against African Americans. But we shouldn't judge all Asians based on those who actually do wrong. I mean, that's just like somebody judging black people based on a few black people who do things wrong. Judging all black people, for instance, based on the conduct of some drug dealers in the community, based on the conduct of some gangsters in the community, or based on some of the dysfunctional so-called ratchet behavior that you see among some black people. It would be wrong to judge all black people based on the conduct of a few. But yet, we don't have any problem judging other groups of people based on the conduct of a few. And I just think that that's illogical. And I think that that kind of thinking, that kind of go-it-alone mentality hasn't accomplished anything. Can you point to any results that these people who advocate that BS have achieved? What have they achieved? What have they accomplished? What have they done to improve our community? Even somebody like a Farrakhan or whatever understands the importance of some kind of coalition. He understands that. I mean, he's reached out to Native Americans and Latinos, but somehow these other so-called fake pro-blacks, they don't get it. They don't understand the importance of coalition. So I'm not going to keep going, but y'all get the point. So tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.